Is it actually live this time? Hey, welcome to Restore Belief. Speaking of Restore Belief, oh my gosh. Yay! Maybe you'll actually be able to see me this time. God, what a hassle. Anyway, so I get to say, supposedly there's somebody in the chat or somebody that's watching. Hello, please let me know that you can actually see and hear me, please. I went through this last time. Not fun. Oh my gosh. Okay. Um well, all right. So we're going to see if this shows up. Shows me live. Shows. Okay. Well, maybe this will work. Um Hopefully. Um Am I live? Can you please tell me? Can you see? Let me know, please. Oh my god. This has been an interesting day. It's been a few days that have been. Now, why is my microphone not showing up? Okay. What is that all about? Um, no. Huh. Well, I wonder if something's going on with YouTube. Is now. Okay. Okay. Is now. Okay. Can you see and hear me? Issue with microphone. Can you hear me? Ah, yes. Okay. Oh, that's a relief. Um okay. That's a that's a huge relief. Let's not do what we did before. Okay. Um all right. So, we had some subjects I was going to talk about today. Um and wow. Um wow. Okay, well, I guess we're going to try this again. Um Welcome to Restore Belief with Nikki Jacobs, a psychic medium who should have foreseen this coming. Actually, I sort of did, but I pushed it aside. Had an experience during a nap that was, I don't want to necessarily call it demon, but it was a wannabe. And yeah, anyway. Friend of mine yesterday told me, you really need to have your protections up again. And what I had them up, but they were not like normal. And your gemstones, and I'm wearing one of my necklaces and I've got the others near me, and actually anyway. But I am not showing that my microphone is working. So, Amy, I'm glad you're in the chat. You can actually hear me? Yes, yes. Can you hear me? Audio and video is normal. Okay, good. Thank you. I don't know what the hell is going on with this laptop, let alone my internet. And we don't want me as pissed off as I was last night, because if I touch this laptop and I find out that it's somebody screwing with me and my tech, you're not going to have very nice fingers. You're going to be hurting. So let's just say that right here and now. Anyway, all right. So, oh, vey. Telling you, what a day. Um, okay, so there were a number of things that I was going to talk about. Um, and thought I had for 22 minutes. I should know better. Anyway, the first experience with anything like that regarding YouTube and laptop and internet issues. So that was interesting to say the least. Okay, I need to drop this down just a bit because this is bugging the crap out of me. There we go. Okay. Yeah. All right. So, let's see. Synchronicities. I was thinking about doing a 1 or 2 card pull of out of the oracle decks, or out of a oracle deck. I've got a couple of them. And there was also topic of self-talk and topic of feeling of being stuck. Hang on, I gotta write this down, otherwise I will forget again. I had a name that was given to me yesterday, or no, actually this morning. As I was getting up to go hit the bathroom. Hey, Robert. Yep, there I am. Finally. Anyway, the name was Christine. I have no idea who it is or what it's about, the subject matter or her life. I don't know if she is one of the many crime victims who have come to me asking for help. She hasn't asked, she just said a name, and it's a new energy, so I know that there's a different energy feel to her. I've got a number of first names, but I don't have last names to many of them. Once again, this hair is going to drive me nuts. There we go. So that's something. All right. On to what I had anticipated talking about today. So one of the things that I thought I was talking about earlier was that in the last 2 weeks, I've come across quite a few people from all different walks of life, all age ranges, not teens, but 20s, 30s, late 40s, a couple into their 50s, and a couple into their 60s. Different religious backgrounds, cultural backgrounds, that kind of thing. All of them talking about how stuck they feel in different aspects of their life. This is a subject that for many people is hard to hear, hard to handle. I understand that. When I'm talking about this, I'm preaching to the choir. This one, because hello, I go through it periodically too. I think we all do at some point in our life. And why do I feel the need to have my very large amethyst has to be like right next to me right now? And I don't quite understand that, but okay. So I guess we're doing that. And I'm realizing how dry my lips are. Just a second. Whenever I start yapping away, Nikki's lips gets dry. So, anyway, oh, that's better. Always got to moisturize the lips. Kind of important. Exfoliate them too. You can do that with a toothbrush. Anyway, little sideline health things. Oh, God, I'm all over the frickin' map today. I apologize. But we're talking about the feeling of being stuck. Anyway, so in the last couple of weeks, that's what I've heard from a lot of different people, and just in various different kinds of talk. It gets brought up for one reason or another, and never by me. And so I kind of wanted to talk about that today. Maybe give some kind of a possible help, different viewpoint, different perspective, viewpoint, however you want to classify that as. Oh, great, gonna burp. Excuse me. I do not understand why the sound is not showing up. That makes no sense to me. But as long as you guys can hear me, and my sound looks like it's good. Okay, as long as you guys can hear me, and I'm not just babbling away again. So the feeling of being stuck. So basically, I'm going to read this. Hoke installed. You can't go forward and you can't go back. Stuck. Yes. Okay, so if you don't like where you're at in your life, move. You're not a tree. You don't have to be in one location. I mean, yeah, everybody's got roots and everybody, ebbs and flows with growth and all of that like a tree does. But you're not stuck in one location. It's up to you as to where you want to be. If you don't like where you're at, physically move. Find a way to make it happen. If you're not able to physically move, find a different route to make your life different. Whether that means learning new information, going towards learning new information, if the physical isn't an option. Open yourself up to the new information. That's the key. You have to be willing to open yourself up. If you're not willing to open yourself up, you're going to continue to feel stuck. And why would you want to do that to yourself? So being willing and being able to move into forward momentum is a really big deal. Okay, so learn new things, whether that's learning new information on psychology, updating if you're interested in psychology, and that's something that fascinates you. Learn the new info that's going on. Um, Sorry, I just thought I heard my Canadian geese go by. It's about that time of the day. Um, so if it's not psychology, go find a way to go back to college. Um, if that or if college is not an option, teach yourself. Find YouTube channels that teach you new skills, new abilities, um, new information that can help you in your growth. Because if you're taking an active, I was going to say, wow, leap of faith is coming to my mind, and that's not where I was going with that. Okay, that's for somebody specific. I don't know who that's for, but leap of faith is for, wow, that's a leap of faith is a big deal. Um, wow, okay. Uh, Find something that you can learn that can help you to where you do not feel stuck anymore. If you're not physically able to move or financially able to physically move, um, find things that you can do that you're good at. And if you don't know what you're good at, start practicing at different things, different activities, different read different books. If you're a reader, I know a lot of people who are readers, who are critical thinkers. A lot of people, and I love them to pieces because wow, do they have a wealth, plethora of knowledge. Um, Great people. So, yeah, if you're not able to financially afford the physical move, find other options to where you can do things that you enjoy. Figure out what that is for you. Make the step forward. That's a big deal right there, making that step forward. And here's the other thing that goes into a fear factor. If you're afraid to take that step, why? Why are you afraid? Ask yourself, why are you afraid to take that step? What's stopping you from moving forward? Um, Hey, folks, if you are interested in a crystal closeout sale, Raven Swan's Flock, Susan Swanbeck, formerly ATU Network, is having a crystal closeout sale right now on her YouTube channel. And she's got some really good deals. The lady needs new eyeglasses, so this is one of the ways that she's funding it, because she doesn't have another method. So you know, um, that's an option. Find if you're not able to financially make the move, find an option to that will help you make the move. Um, I know folks that are doing all sorts of different online things, and they are very talented, and that's how they're making their money. Um, and it's helping them put a small amount of coin in the bank, so to speak, um, every month, and as a sideline. So find things. I mean, there are a lot of people that I know that are feeling stuck right now. You do have options. If you are telling yourself that you don't, start asking yourself, are you afraid? And if you are, figure out and find out why. Is it because you're afraid of what could come? Or, I mean, it could be anything. Everybody's got different kinds of fears. So, okay, I've got to move that. That's gonna drive me nuts. It's got to get moved. There we go. And I'm gonna put this up here so there's no possibility that could hit end stream. No way. Okay, so figure out a way. I mean, if learn a new skill. It might turn into a skill like um, you know, Robert. I know one of the I'm going to call you out, hun. One of the things that I know that he did for himself um, was he learned a new skill a number of years ago. And that's a really big deal because it's allowed him to work with gemstones and he's got a talent for it. That's kind of a big deal. I know others like our Keith Andrews who has a talent for writing books. Um, excuse me, and his knowledge about science and his knowledge about specific sciences and specific ETs, that's a big deal too. Um, there are folks that have abilities to where they're good speakers. And that's, you know, that's how they're doing things. Um, when you feel stuck, and yes, I am going to use that word often, so I do apologize ahead of time because if that's a word that bothers you, I apologize. Um, if you are feeling stuck, for some people that can lead into depression. You got to be really careful with that. I know a couple of people, one specifically that I'm thinking of, who um, they're in a very deep depression right now. A lot, a lot going on in their life, um, and all the negatives are popping up for them because that is how they're choosing to see things, and that's hard. I've been down that road. That is hard. That's hard bringing yourself out of that. And one of the ways to bring yourself out of the negative self talk, which is the other thing that I wanted to go into, excuse me. Okay, combination of the Propel again. One of the ways to get yourself out of the negative self talk, and I do know that there are a very few amount of people who do not do self talk. That amazes me. They truly, those folks truly amaze me. But there are folks who do not do self talk, but a mass majority do. And this is for them. For those that do self talk and they're doing negative self talk, the way to get one of the many plethora of ways to get yourself out of negative self talk is to deal with finding a 3-word phrase, a 2-word phrase, and then eventually down to a 1-word phrase. Hang on a minute. Got a drink. Okay. Oh my. Okay, now that image I did not need in my head when I made that oh my sound. Oh, now somebody's laughing. All right, smartass. Anyway, I just love it when I have spirits show up and they're a comedian. Anyway. Oh, somebody thinks that's just really funny. You know, 2 can play that game. Anyway, and I know where to find you. All right, anyhow, back onto the subject. Self-talk. Negative self-talk. God, I love my family, but holy crap. It's just anyway, and see now my cheeks are bright red. They're just sorry. All right, so the negative self-talk. One of the many ways that you can get yourself out of negative self-talk is the 3-word, 2-word, 1-word phrases. And you literally, now watch your ears if you're listening on headphones. I'm going to give you that straight up. One of the ways to go about doing it is to use, literally, if you're visual, think of it this way. Use a bright red stop sign, bright red octagon stop sign, and go, stop! Really loud, scream it in your head. There are many other ways. That's just a true basic, and I just completely changed the camera setting on this. I don't even know how oh, it's because I put my hand up. Okay. Anyway, made me bright yellow. Oh, isn't that fun? Anyway, I learned things all kind. Okay, wait a minute. Yes, no. Oh, that's a little bit better. Okay. Anyhow, not by much, but a little bit. Anyway, so find a 3-word phrase, and that's usually what people have to start with, especially if they do a great deal of self-talk. And then eventually, it over time, over a great deal of time, is a 1-word. I was going to say phrase, but a 1-word to get yourself down to the point to where it just becomes automatic. When you recognize it, you automatically do. And I can't snap my. I'm having problems with this thumb right now. That's not normal. Anyway, shouldn't, because I had a surgeon do carpal tunnel on this hand, and the ETs did carpal tunnel on this hand. So hello. Oh, hey, now we're back. Anyway, so yeah, there's figure out a word or a phrase that works for you. Over time, when you say that word or that phrase, and you're catching yourself. Basically, what it is your brain training. You're rephrasing words in your head. Oh, that's the other sticky notes. Post-its. One of the things that I used to do that the family kind of years and years ago when I was doing this back in the 90s, I'd post-it notes everywhere. And a lot of times it would drive them nuts. Why you got the post-it note in the bathroom? Why do you have the post-it note in the kitchen? You know, different little phrases. And this was something that I learned in my own counseling, and it worked for me. I was really busy mom. I was writing notes on the palm of my hand or on the top of my hand. Ink is toxic. Hello, folks. So I learned to have, I always had a pen around in whatever room I was in, easy access. I made it to where everything was easy access. There was almost always, wherever I was, there was always a pen around. And I almost always had, even the real small Post-it notes. I had those, and then I had the what are they, the 2x2 inch, whatever they are, or even the 3x2s. I had them all over the house. Now I hardly have any of them. Mostly because I don't use them as much. But besides that, I wrote different positives from the negative to the positive, and you're retraining your brain. And in doing that, you're restructuring from the negative to the positive. You're literally reteaching all of the negative that you learned, whether it was growing up, whether it was as a young adult, as somebody who's in their 40s, somebody who's in their 50s or older. um, you literally, it's really important to restructure and retrain from the negative to the positive, because when you do, you change your perspective on how you perceive things in your daily life. And I am so incredibly thankful for the counselor that taught me this. Now, they didn't go about it the way I'm going about it with you guys, and I'm not a counselor by any freaking stretch of the imagination. I've just gone through a lot of experiences. And if it's going to help somebody else, go for it. If it doesn't, move on, find something else that works for you. But here's the key. Be open. Be willing. The first step is being willing. Be willing to be open, then be open, then move on from that and taking the steps forward in your learning, in your processing, in your growth. And you will eventually, over time, this takes time. This is not oh my God, this is going to happen in 2 weeks. Are you freaking kidding me? You make small changes on a daily you make one small change on a daily basis for 2 weeks. You're able to maintain that into the third week, and that third week you start something new. If you are able to maintain the first one into the 4 weeks, you should be able, now should is a shoulda, woulda, coulda. Those are words I try not to use. I try really hard not to use them, and I just did. So my apologies. But there are things that can be done to change the dynamic paradigm. Somebody just literally said paradigm. Change the paradigm in how you phrase things in your head. And this can potentially help in how you view things. It can also help with the feeling of being stuck. Being stuck is, as I said this before in one of the other videos I did, one of the other live videos, was I talked about how I described going through muddy, mucky water. And this is yes, yeah, yeah. That's Amy's saying. Judge Judy said, quote, coulda, woulda, shoulda, end quote, to poke fun at what people on the stand were saying. Yes, yeah, coulda, woulda, shoulda. Yeah, that's all. It's all very much the slang. But yeah, if you can get yourself into a phase to where you can shift the paradigm, shift the dynamics, you come out of the stuck sensation, the stuck feeling, the negativity of it. It's opening up to new parameters, opening up, being willing first, and then opening up and going, oh, well, I didn't think of that before. Or, oh, well, I didn't see it quite like that before, but maybe. And maybe if that whatever isn't exactly what you had in mind, but it starts a cycle or a snowball and becomes more and more and more, you come out of the muddy, mucky water into clear water and into, say, like a beach type scenario, and you're walking out of that water and you're going through the tunnel and you're getting to the end of the tunnel of all the crap that went on, and you're coming out into the bright, beautiful, pure white light, and you're moving forward. It's a process. Allow yourself the process. And if you're afraid for whatever reason, start asking start asking yourself, why are you afraid? Why are you afraid to move forward? Or why are you placing blame on other people that you're not moving forward? Moving forward is an individualistic thing. Yeah, there are a certain set of circumstances, but it's also very individualized. Um, so look into those kind of situations. Um, Now I wanted to talk about learn and grow, expand your knowledge base. Don't allow yourself to be stagnant or stationary. That's what it was. Okay, so synchronicities, a number of synchronicities have come up recently. For me personally, and everybody does this differently. And I'm going to use me as an example. Yesterday, no, the 11th and 12th, so late night on March 11th into the wee morning hours of March the 12th, I had a partial synchronicity. Now, for me personally, a synchronicity is three things for me is what makes a synchronicity. But I wrote this down just in case there was a third. The first, the name Edison, Edison, came up twice within about a 3 to 4 hour period. 2.5 to 45, 2 hours, 45 minutes to 4 hours, thereabouts. A third one has not shown up. But other people look at that as, oh, it happened twice. Oh, it's a synchronicity. And you have to know yourself to know if that is a synchronicity for you. For me, if it happens a third time, then I consider that a synchronicity. So I just want people to be aware of interesting things like that regarding synchronicities. At around 10 this morning, I received the name Christine, spelled with a CHRI. And usually when I receive a name like that, it's usually in relationship to a crime victim who has passed on. This one, and the energy was different. It's not any of the others that have contacted me. So I know that it's somebody different. And what I wanted to say about that is that maybe eventually they will give me their first and last name, and I will be able to start receiving more information about them. Am I going to push the information and start looking into it? No, because that doesn't work for me. I know some psychics where that just spot on, it works for them. Nope, not me. Mine is I give it a couple of days, and if it pans out, then I usually start receiving visions. I start having downloaded information from the spirit. They start showing me different aspects of their life, and eventually over time they start really telling me about their life and their info. And sometimes it's just they want to have somebody know that they're deceased. Sometimes they just want somebody to know what happened to them. I had in 2018 to, oh gosh, no, long before that, but um, 2018 into 2020 and 2021. I had a lot of first name victims, crime victims come to me. And I'm calling them crime victims because they were. And I'm not going to say how they died or who by. That I honestly, I do wish I had a name so that I could hand it over to the authorities. And some of them just wanted someone to know how they died. Unfortunately, a lot of times these crime victims don't grasp that what that does to a psychic medium. It can cause a lot of psychological stuff. There are things that I've seen that I don't even need to be on a crime site because I've seen such horrific things from what they remember, and it's just that's very traumatizing to me. There have been times where I've just sat and I've cried. There have been a couple of times where it's been really tough, and I get it. I get what they just want somebody to know. Unfortunately for me, I now retain their last memories. Unfortunately, I do not have last names for them. Um, so I can't, I can describe them. If I had a police sketch artist, there's some of them, and they're not just women, they're men as well. Some of them have, um, I still remember some of their faces. And unfortunately, some of what they've experienced it makes my stomach turn. Um, so, regarding families of those crime victims, um, some of them, the spirit has crossed over. Some of them are earthbound by choice. Um, Many are okay, but there's some that aren't. But at the same time, just recognize that they are trying to get information to somebody who will just simply listen. And I've done that. Um, it's not easy. It's not easy. I don't care to see some of that stuff, but I get why they're choosing me or choosing other psychics to um, show the information to. There's a guy that I will probably never forget what he showed me because it was so graphic. And I just curled up. That's when I sat and bawled because I couldn't imagine another human being doing what was done to him. So, yeah. So, if you I wish I had information that could put the perpetrators away and the victims found, the bodies found, or the uh, remains. That was the word I was looking for. I couldn't think of the word. You know, find the remains. Um, A lot of times, that's not what a victim is most concerned about, although there's a female, young female, well, she's technically not young anymore. She's been gone for 17 years, but she very much wants her family to know what's happened to her. But I don't think her remains will ever be found because I was finally shown how. Like I said, I don't understand how people can do things to each other. Oh, horrific things. Anyway, didn't mean to go off on that. So if this Christine comes back up and starts talking, once again I start writing notes and documenting and things of that nature. So that's not what I intended to talk about. Interesting how things pop up. Hey, whoever else is here, thanks for coming on by. If you enjoy, hey, Alice. If you've, I'm gonna continue talking here, but I just want to say this before I forget it again. And with all of the lovely little tech issues that I had earlier. um, so I'm glad that you can actually hear me and that you can see me. Hello. I'd probably still do this if you couldn't see me, but anyway. If you like what was discussed today, and you know, give a like and a share out and subscribe if you haven't. Information is always interesting. Or hit replay after this is done and over with. Catch the stuff that you haven't heard. Anyway, oh, that was the other thing. I had an unexpected wannabe demon try to crash my dreams. Late this morning. I was trying to think of what time it was. It was late this morning into early, well, lunchtime. It would have been everybody. Well, my lunchtime. I'm on Pacific time, so it's now 5:21 p.m. Pacific time. Very different on the East Coast time. So anyway, something like 8:21 p.m. thereabouts. Anyway, and if Robert's still here, let's see. It's his morning time, right around 10:22, 23 a.m. I think. I might be right on that. Anyway, so if you've enjoyed hearing what I've talked about, oh, and give a like, a subscribe, share it out, please. Change the negatives to a positive. Always work on that. There was a bunch of other things I was just going to say, and it just kind of all. I just kind of all lost it at this second. But what I do want to say regarding the wannabe who tried to screw with me, and possibly likely regarding the tech, I'm not going to say that's 100%, but personally I think it's something else other than a wannabe. But with the wannabes, add protection around yourself. Looks like I have to redo and revamp my protection, which just irritates me no end. And I have some tracking that I have to do tonight, before the S4 bunker show that I'm going to be on. So I'm going to be hunting down a wannabe demon. And since this little bugger did what he did, I most likely have the permission and authority from the hierarchy royalties to go after it and put it down. But I will find that out after I get off of here. And yeah, I do know how to put them down. I've had a couple of really interesting and tough days with the body. And last night I was really angry. And kept my anger under control really well, because if it gets really bad, it'll go out into the etheric. And I got it corralled really well. So I don't think I necessarily drew this thing in. But based on a couple of days ago from information from a friend, and I didn't see him. I didn't see this lovely little thing circling. This little bastard took an opportunity. So yeah, he's gonna have consequences. Matter of fact, I might just call in the dogs, provided I still have permission to do. Oh, yes, I do. I just got told yes, I do. Oh, yeah, I will, Alice. It's tonight, 10 p.m. Pacific, so it goes for 2 hours, but they do have it's on Spreaker.com. You can listen. Archives. That's the word I was looking for. You can listen to the archives. It's called the S4 Bunker. Oh, the S4 Bunker. The link to the show, to the website, is in the description box. At least it should still be in the description box. So if you open up the description box, scroll down, and you should find the link to the past shows and anything that shows up as live. They do a Wednesday night show from 10 p.m. Pacific until midnight, or 12:01 a.m., depending upon if we get a late start or have tech issues or anything. And excuse me, there's usually 7 of us. Okay, that's a nice T mode. Usually 7 of us on the panel, and 2 ET abductees, 2 psychics, paranormal team is on it. And tonight the conversation, oh, don't tell me I forgot it. Men in Black and Black-Eyed Children, I think, is the topic of discussion tonight. Don't quote me on that. I'll find out and then put it in the chat below to be sure. But yeah, I will send you, I will send you a link to it anyway. What else? What else, folks? Trying to think of anything else that has been bounced around. Oh. Um, let's see. Okay. Talked about all of that. Oh, we were going to do the card pulls. Did anybody want a card pull? Okay, looking at this. Okay. Actually, I'm going to do a couple of card pulls because I was specifically led to that earlier. That was made very clear to me that needed to be done, and apparently it needs to be done for one or two individuals who will watch this later. That's fine. Doesn't bother me. Okay, let's see. If we do this without dropping the laptop. Please don't drop the laptop. Okay, hang on, guys. Yeah. Oh, those are the tarots. Nope, that's the oracle. Okay, we want the oracle. Not doing tarots. Boom, 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 boom. Like I said, I'm not doing those. We are doing. That's tarots. Okay, wait a minute. That's tarots. This is. Missing one. I'm missing a deck. Oh, how interesting. Okay. This is for those who are. This deck is for those who are of the belief who are religious in Christian or Catholic faith. And then I will be pulling from the Angels and Ancestors Oracle, and then also from the Fairies Oracle. And individually, yes, I will, Alice, I will. These are not necessarily Oracle cards, but they do have some really interesting sayings from Psalms. Okay, let's see. See if I can shuffle them. That might be the issue. Okay. Deck is fat, short and fat. Funny. Okay, let's try this again. Right now, this is for those who. Oh, hello. That's interesting. This is for those. What do they want or need to hear? Yeah, okay. I'm being told to put it in with the other one. Okay, well, let me no. Okay. Wow, aren't you staunch? Holy crapola. Wow, seriously staunch. Okay, do I have the rest? Yeah, okay. Let me get these shuffled. Calm the bleep down. Goodness sake. Wow. Calm down. Okay. No, one more? Okay, one more. One more. All right. Now together. All right, now we're putting them together. All righty, folks. Here we go. Let's see if Nikki's short little hands can do this. Ha. Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'm going round 3. Come on. And 2 more. Shuffle. Come on. You want that one? Okay, I don't even know what that says, but are you sure? Okay, they are sure. I have no idea what the hell this says. Okay, give thanks to the Lord, for he is good. His love endures forever. Psalm 118, verse 29. Okay, that is for, oh gosh. That is for those who are of that faith. Okay. Really? Oh, I guess I'm doing one more out of this deck. Well, that's a shock. I only expected one. Okay. Do not shuffle. Then where am I taking it from? Middle. Directly in the middle? No. Okay. No. Oh, okay. Calm the. Okay, guys. I cannot see these. They have blank sides, and then the other sides are supposed to be colored, but they're white. I haven't spent any time. These were. Okay. Apparently, this is the one. Hang on. Is there 2 cards stuck in this one? No, there's not. Okay, that it? Okay. He shall give his angels charge over you to keep you in all your ways. Psalms 91:11. Hey, Nightmare. It's okay, sweetie. We're just doing weird card pulls. Well, they're not weird, but it's for anybody who wants this. Now, we're going to go on to the Oracle cards. All right. Oracle card pulls. Okay. Wow, didn't expect to do that. It's the first time for everything. Okay. Okay, I guess we're going for the Oracle deck. Remember, folks, I got specifically told this was important. So, for somebody, this is very important. Okay, so, okay, I gotta figure out how to. Now, a second. These are small enough. Well, they're big and fat. The other one's short and fat. These are big and fat. Okay, here we go. Loud noises. Watch your ears. Or maybe not. 4. Okay. 2. Oh, come on. Thank you. 3. One more, really? Seriously? Oh, 5th card in? 5th card in. Okay, wow. You are really specific today. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. What do we have? Pure intention. Fairy of manifestation will help you to use your wishes wisely. Manifest your heart's desire with pure intention and for the highest good of all. And here is, hey, Christopher, here is the card. Hopefully, can you read that? There we go. There's the, hopefully you can read that. Hey, Christopher. And we'll go down. Beautiful. It's a beautiful card. Boy, were they specific. Man, when they get specific. Okay, Alice, I haven't forgotten you. Pure intention. Pure. LMNOP. URE. Protect. Pure protection. Okay. Okay, the fairies are usually very happy and willing to help. This is from this book. Usually very happy and willing to help us manifest our wishes as long as these are both from our heart and not for selfish reasons. It's also important that your wishes don't impose on the free will of others and that your wishes are for the highest good of all concerned, including the fairies. This means turning into your inner wisdom. If it feels right, you can also call on the fairy of manifestation to supercharge your wish. Here's a wonderful wishing technique using dandelion seed heads, which are full of wishes, just waiting to be carried into the air, fueled by your wise and wishful intent. Yeah, everything's based on intent, folks. Doesn't matter what you do, it's based on intent. So make sure that your intent is true and pure. Okay. Hold one of these fluffy seed heads to your heart and visualize your wish. Imagine that your wish has already come true, including your thoughts, feelings, and emotions when the wish has been fulfilled. Then take a deep breath, fueled by your wish and intent, and blow the seeds into the air. Know the wish seeds will be collected, protected by a self wish guardian, one of many tiny fairies who dwell in the air. The sylph will take your wish to the queen of the sylphs and ask her to manifest it for you. It's important to give thanks to the sylphs once you've blown your wishes away. The beauty of making wishes in this way is that you're also helping to spread the seeds far and wide. When you help nature, you automatically assist the fairies too, so this is a wise way to create a win-win situation for them and you. Okay, moving on to the next deck. Oh, and here is the other side to this deck. It's a pretty deck. It's really a pretty deck. Okie doke. Whoops, loud noises. Sorry, folks. And the next deck is given to me by a friend for a birthday combined Christmas combined other things. Anyway, this one is the Angels and Ancestors Oracle cards. Whoops. Oh well. This is the view of it. One side of it. Okay. Whoa. Okay. Immediately 4. Okay. We're going for 4 shuffles. Alrighty, folks. I know this always takes a moment or so. Like I've talked about in the past, I do not do tarot cards for anybody because I seriously suck at it. Oracle cards, I receive information. That's 2. From the other side, and I haven't. I think if I had if I had learned it when I was like 14 or 15 years old, it would be a different ball game for me on it. But I didn't have the money back then. Really? Okay, from where, right? They're getting specific. I'm being told Further. Okay, hang on. Good grief, you guys are. Yes? No? Yes, okay. I'm getting told how thick one side needs to be versus the other side. That's really unusual. 1042. Oh, see, I wasn't too far off. Woo! Okay, but my thumb doesn't want to hold it. Jeez. Okay. Good Lord. 10 in? Jim, Christmas. You guys are being really. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. What do we got? Ooh, sorry, that was loud. Warrior, be fearless and stand strong. Let's see if I can do this. And excuse the short, itty bitty stubs of the fingernails. Let's see. You see that? And let's see, hold you up. Hopefully. Yeah. Maybe. There we go. There we go. Okay. Now, what does the book say? Warrior. Ooh, warrior symbols. Ooh, it turned right to it. Literally, right. No. Warrior symbols. Can you see that? That's rare. I never turn right to it. Well, I can't say never now. Ouch. My thumbs do not want to work. Maybe I'm in the right section. I don't know. It's been a while since I've used this. Well, apparently I'm not in the right section. Okay. Be fearless. Okay. Where the bleepin' bleeped it deep it deep it deep it do. Aha, there you are. Okay. Message. Don't back down. Make your opinions heard. Don't settle for second best. About. A warrior is anyone who is ready and willing to know themselves and do what needs to be done in order to get where they want to be. In this deck, the warrior embodies fierce primal love. The warrior within the energy you can call on to protect yourself, even if you don't think you love yourself. If you are exposed to a situation that could be harmful or dangerous, the steps you take to protect yourself are in fact acts of fierce love. Although the warrior in this card is surrounded by darkness, he is of the light. The warrior within is made of light and has the capacity to shine even more brightly when facing darkness head on. Extended message. If you're experiencing fear at this time, know that this means whatever is going on is important to you. Whenever you feel fear, you are on the verge of something big, perhaps a massive breakthrough that is going to really help you move forward. If you have a situation on your hands where you have to face someone or something that's been unsettling you, know that you are being guided to call up your inner warrior. Don't falter and don't be frightened, because you have the energy to protect yourself now and at all times. Okay, now, Alice, my dear, which of the two main... Whoopsie doodle. I don't want to do that on the... because that's loud as heck. I want to get... hang on 1 second. I do want to get this shuffled. Why are you telling me not to shuffle? You always tell me to shuffle to clear... Oh my God. Okay, it's in this hand. Okay, I'm putting this down. And this on top. Alice, I'm assuming this is the deck you want. Let me know in the chat. This is this deck. Yes? Are you still here? Or did you want the other one? Because this one is the one that's, I'm like, wow. They are really staunch on that one. Here's the other deck, dear. Oh, hang on a minute. Here's the one for the fairies. Boom, boom. There we go. Still here. Hey, Chris. Hey, sweetie. Mwah. How you doing? Okay, Alice. Oh, I hope you're here. Are you here? Are you here? Are you here? I'm doing well. Okay, Alice, I think this is for you. They're very specific. Good. I'm glad you're doing well. 3/4 of the way in. Okay. I'm showing you. It's about 3/4 of the way in. Where am I going? The one. The one. The one, the one, the one. Okay, where am I going? Huh. Okay, it says Druid, hold the space. I would have thought the other one would be for you. Okay. Ba-doom, ba-doom, ba-doom. Oh, we're not allowing. All right. Well, that's not going to work. All right. Hang on a minute. We'll find it. Druid. Seasons. Sun Stag. Well, Druid's not in there. Sorry, guys. This is. I don't do this that often. Maybe once every what? 6 months? 5 months? 6 months, something like that. Okay, so what have we talked about today? I am still looking for, why am I not finding this? What did we talk about today, guys? We talked about a number of different factors, such as self-talk and Chris, you're not Christopher. Chris, your name just popped into my head. Interesting. With a male energy. Interesting. Okay. So we were talking about the feeling of being stuck. We were talking about self-talk and changing negatives to positives. The use of sticky notes, aka Post-its. Synchronicities, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Okay, Alice. If you're still watching, or come back. Druid, hold the space. Message. Hold things together. Don't make any sudden moves or changes. Stand strong, knowing you are where you are supposed to be. About. The Druids were the ancient wise ones of the British Isles. They had a deep connection with the earth, the sun, and the moon. They were the scholars who created the Ogham tree language, and they were known for their creative skills in storytelling, pottery, and craftsmanship. Extended message. When the Druid card appears in a reading, you're being guided to dig deep within and hold your station. If you're wondering what to do next or have a sense of anxiety about what is unfolding in your life, it's time to shift your perceptions and move back to a state of trust. Don't change your plans or do anything drastic. Just trust in the process and let everything happen as it needs to before taking any more steps. Think of a tree. It has strong roots, yet continues to grow and bear fruit. Your life will be a reflection of this. Now, if you saw the beginning of this, one of the things that I said regarding trees and being stuck is that on one hand, you're a tree, you have roots, you grow, you move in that way, you ebb and flow with life around you, as do trees. However, what you are not is a tree that is unmoving. I find it interesting that this card comes after talking about trees, and they say, think of a tree. It has strong roots, yet continues to grow and bear fruit. Your life will be a reflection of this. I find that fascinating. Anyway, there you go, my dear. There you go, Alice. And I did ask for those that came in. You gotta be kidding me. All right, where? This is a rarity, folks. I'm getting told to hold off. Really? Okay. No, I'm already there. One more down. Okay. Okay, supposedly somebody needs to hear this, and then that's it. Like I said, I don't do these all that often. Okay, I'm putting those away now. Just somebody remind me. I usually shuffle these, but boy, have they been specific. Don't shuffle. Okay, let me find this one. This one says summer, back in joy and light. Boy, you know, we've all across interesting. Found that rather quickly. Okay, we've had the United States has had a really rough winter. And I know other countries are having it extremely difficult in other ways. Okay, here we go. I'm going to move this forward. Go like that. Okay, here is the card. Let's see. Yes, you can see it. There we go. Okay. Summer, bask in joy and light. The message: rise up, open your wings and shine. Bring your projects and plans out into the light, into manifestation. About. Summer has always been recognized as a time for joy, for going on adventures and making memories. Flowers are in full bloom. Animals are enjoying the freedom of the wild summer days and nights, and people are taking holidays, basking in the sunshine, and being lifted energetically by the light and warmth. Extended message. This is the perfect opportunity for you to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Light has come to banish the darkness. Clarity is arriving too, allowing you to know exactly where you are and how you can move forward. Angels and ancestor guides are encouraging you to enjoy this moment and not to rush forward. because this is a time for pleasure, enjoyment, and expansion. There's a great chance that you have extra energy, creativity, and inspiration at this time. Notice what is coming to you, as it is inspiration directly from the divine. When the summer card arrives in the future, well, okay, we're not in the future position because I'm not doing tarot, but I will read it. When the summer card arrives in the future position of a spread or as the last card in a reading, it can also indicate that the coming summer will usher in important energies with regards to your question or intentions. And this was the last card. Oracle. Yes. Alice, I did read a card for you. So go back through. I don't remember which one it was now. I've unexpectedly done 3 cards in this deck. But go back through the video feed, and it's in there. But this is a good one too. Okay. Wow. Voice. It puts the cards back in the deck. Yeah, exactly. And I'm being yelled at again. Don't shuffle the deck. Wow. That is not normal, folks. It's not normal for me to get, well, and I use the words yelled at. Yelled at isn't the right words. Anyway, we got 5 people in here. Let's see. Alice, Chris, Christopher, Robert, and must be Amy. Okay. Anybody have any questions? Ooh, somebody's got a psychic question. Oh, you know what we didn't? Yeah, we did talk about demons. Or wannabe demons. The one with the girl. Well, sweetheart, they both have the girl on them. Fairies, this is this one. And the one that I did for you was this one. Was the Ancestors, Angels and Ancestors Oracle cards. Somebody's saying she wants another one. Okay. They're willing to do it. Hoo. Alice. The one with the girl. Well, this is the girl. This is the fairy. Fairies instead. Okay. You gonna let me shuffle? Yes. Okay. I got told yes. Oh, let's see. You got preferential treatment, dear. Oh, 3 times. Okay. Wow, that always amazes me how I get told that. It's a different sound when I get told that. Well, this is going to be interesting for tonight. Okay. 3 times. Watch your ears, folks. Oh, okay. 2. There we go. And 3. Yeah. Oh, yes, ma'am. All right. I was going to say yes, sir, but got corrected on that too. Not that one? You don't want that one. You want... Yes. Okay. Well, apparently it's this one. There's a second one on the underneath. Okay. Let me get that back in. Get that back into the box. Come on. We want to see which one she's got. Uh, okay. Wait for winter. During the colder months, the fairy queen of winter will help you manifest your most heartfelt wishes as long as your intentions are for the highest good of all. It's pretty. Whoops, 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 whoops. Whoops. Ooh. Okay, I'm going to read. I got to find her first. Oh, Bigfoot Michigan Rob is on. Okay. I won't get done. We're talking about the Nephilim. Uh, wait for winter. Wait for winter. Why is she waiting for winter? Okay. Yeah, that's what it says. Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay, during the colder months, the fairy queen of winter will help you manifest your most heartfelt wishes as long as your intentions are for the highest good of all. Wishes or spiritual seeds made in your heart will come to fruition during the winter months, emerging like winter berries, ripe and full of promise. The fairy queen of winter, with snowflakes on her wings, comes to remind you to keep your faith, to remember that all wishes, like seeds, grow in darkness until they're ready to burst forth into the light. Are you ready to receive your wishes? Part of the wishing process is to prepare yourself for their manifestation. This could involve removing any psychic ties or spiritual obstacles that have been holding you back from the full realization and birthing of your dreams into this earthly realm. Wherever you live in the world, you'll know the fairy queen of winter is nearby when the weather turns cooler or when you see snowdrops pushing up through the snow. This is a sign that your wishes, too, are soon to bloom. Remember that our wishes don't always manifest in the way I think that's supposed to be envisioned. Envisage? That's an interesting word. They will come to be in whichever way is perfect for all concerned and for the highest good of all. Be especially receptive to any ideas or inspiration that float into your mind around the magical time of winter. It's also the time to practice divination using winter related mediums such as snowflakes or ice. If you live in a country that has cold winters, if you don't, you can use ice cubes. I find that interesting. That is really interesting. And when they were talking, be especially receptive to any ideas or inspiration that float into your mind. Um, I was seeing you writing notes, journaling. Um, and that doesn't usually happen. I don't usually have. I usually don't have images pop into my head quite like that during these. So that was interesting. Pushing snow through ice cubes is hard. Yes, Robert, it is. Um, if you can't use fresh from a freezer, works just fine. Yeah, exactly. I hope that helps, Alice. I know the situation, and yeah, I mean I know we're in winter now, but with what Sue had talked about yesterday, it makes me okay, Christopher, post it. It does make me think. about possibly next winter, the beginning of next winter, which depending upon if you stay, yeah, you're very welcome, sweetie. If you, oh, if you choose to stay local, trying to choose my words carefully. If you choose to stay local, um, depending upon how things go and flow, um, once again, I'm trying to choose my words carefully. So forgive me as there's some pauses here. Um, it might be your winter. So whatever that is for your state. Anyhow, much love to you, my dear. Been thinking about you the last few days, and now I understand why. Um, which is interesting because I got the information before you said anything. Anyway, wasn't my information to receive, but I was like, oh, okay. Um, anyway, much love to you, my dear. Truly heartfelt. Christopher, I have been getting dreams about Ireland, and then a week ago I heard the song "O Holy Night" with and seen the national colors. Why am I getting this? I literally just heard the word family. I don't remember you and I talking about Ireland and family, Christopher. Well, I take that back. Yes, we did. But it was through distant family. Yeah, but it was a couple of names I don't want to say publicly right now. Um so yeah. Um does that help? Yeah. Yeah, I don't understand the oh holy night. But the first word I got was family. Um Yeah, I know. I've been saying that, Robert. I should be sponsored by Propel because seriously, every time I'm on here, I'm drinking a dang Propel. It is where the song was first sang. Oh, see, I didn't know that. Um, didn't know that either. Didn't know it had an interesting history, or if I did, I don't fully remember it. There's a lot of information I have in my head that um, bubbles back and forth every once in a while. Bubblehead. Any other questions? I can't think of. There were a bunch of other things that. Oh, ETs. There was something about the ETs that I was going to talk about today, and I never got a chance to write it down. Yeah. And now I do have to write it down, otherwise I will truly forget it. ETs. Taken. No, return. It wasn't taken. It was returned. Okay, so one of the things that we had talked about on the S4 bunker last Wednesday, which was a rather interesting um, show last Wednesday. One of the things that I had talked about regarding ETs and how they take me and return me. And one of the things that I had said publicly on the show was that I live in an apartment, which is might be obvious for some, and those that don't know, I live in an apartment. Um, and I'm on a lower level. And um, I was asked, I wasn't necessarily asked how I was taken, but the subject came up. And when I'm taken is different than how I'm returned. So when I'm taken, I'm literally, it's like um, they put my body into another frequency. I don't know how else to say that. And I'm literally gone. I out of my clothes, I mean, my body, this fat body just goes right up. Now, when they return me, I have no issues talking about weight and all that stuff. Everybody goes, "Oh my god, that's derogatory." Oh, bullshit. We're having a conversation. Um, and I've had a lot of in the beginning in 2018, I had people being extremely derogatory because I am morbidly obese, and they're like, "Well, ETs don't abduct morbidly obese people. That's just bullshit." And I'm like, "Oh, don't even fucking get me started." Ooh, I use the F word. Crap. I'm like, don't even get me started. It's like, yes, they do. They'll take super skinny. They'll take super fat. They don't give a shit. So, uh, yeah, they can abduct anybody they dang well want to. Anyway, point being is that when I'm returned, um, what used to happen, it does not happen anymore. Um, I do have a morbid sense of humor, actually. uh, um, yeah, I love you, Chris. That's just funny as hell. Anyway, um, so um, when I'm returned, I literally am brought back with. Well, they used to bring me back with one ET. Then they started bringing me back with two, and then after I started fighting them in 2019, yeah, they started bringing me back with three because I got very, very angry, very freaking aggressive, and started physically fighting them. And yeah, so then there was a time where they came with four because it had nothing to do with my weight. It had to do with the fact that I was like, put them up. I was like, I made no bones about it. I was doing, I was not nice. Let's put it that way. And I wasn't a happy camper. Anyway, eventually, after I eventually calmed down and started making some realizations about some things and started going through the process and everything, I finally came out and I said, "You are going to make me physically ill. You're literally bringing me back in 28-degree weather or 16-degree weather, 16-degree Fahrenheit, butt ass naked, and bringing me down from, 800 feet, 1,500 feet in the air, all the way down through the trees, so a higher, atmosphere down through the trees, and there were times where I could actually feel the wind flow across my body. I could hear the trees rustling when they had leaves on them. in the winter time, and I could sense my body go through the window, through the glass. There were times where I felt my body go through the wall itself. Um, and I've never really talked about, not to this kind of detail. I didn't talk about this. Um, oh no, yeah, yeah, if they had straight jackets. Um, yeah, I was not a happy girl. Um, and so what would wake me up, I mean, truly wake me up, would be I would start to shiver. And I would shiver so badly that my teeth would start to chatter, literally. I mean, you literally cannot control. When you get that kind of bone cold, you everything. I mean, you start to shake, uncontrollably, in fact. And there were many times where I was coming back. They were returning me in. There was one time where they returned me, and I think it was like 13 or 14-degree Fahrenheit weather, and it had been snowing, and uh, I was not a happy camper. And when I went through, and it's weird how I don't quite understand. On one hand, I understand. On another hand, I don't. How they put me back in my pajamas. It's like it goes right over you, and yet, as how do I explain this? Um, it's like you're lifted. You come back in, and one of the ways that I knew that I was coming back in through the wall, I'll tell you about the PJs here in a second, but one of the ways that I knew that I was coming in through the wall and through the glass was I have a fan that is about 5 feet, 4 or 5 feet away from uh, my baseboard heater, and it's aimed straight up so that the heat comes out and it goes straight up and it circulates across the ceiling. But I have another fan in another area of the room, and it circulates it back towards me. Well, I never feel that air. The air that I was feeling, I was passing directly over the fan. And this is a good size, this is a good size fan. It's got a um it's about 14 inches. It's about that big around. It's a circle. It's a Vornado fan, so it puts out a really good amount of air. And at the time, it was on high, and I was keeping it on medium to a high. It's got like five, 5 or 6 buttons on it, and I was keeping it at the high setting for a number of days because it had been so cold out, and I just wanted the room to be nice and warm. Well, when you pass over that fan, I wasn't getting warm air because at the time the baseboard heater wasn't on. That's what I was trying to say. Tongue tied. I know what I'm trying to say. I just can't get it from up here down into the mouth. Anyway, um, and so I was passing over ice cold air. I mean, it was ice cold air because the way that I don't like that baseboard heater, but that's beside the point. Anyway, and the way that baseboard heater was at that given, it doesn't do this now, but it did back then. It would shut off, and when it would shut off, I mean, it would like shut off, and then it would click back on when it got basically cold enough. I don't know how else to explain it. It's not how it was supposed to work, but that's how it was working at the time. It's since been fixed. But anyway, and so I was passing over this ice cold frickin' air and coming in from being outside and passing over ice cold air that's blowing on your back and your ass as you're coming in. It's blowing over your legs and then your ass and then your back. And I'm like this, just completely flat out and shaking. And I could not stop shaking. And I finally, during one of the times when they brought me back, I finally said, "You can't do that anymore. You have to." And I knew they were still, I had literally, I don't know how to explain this except just to say it. When they release me, it's like my body, there were times where they released me and I was completely on the bed. There were other times where I was about that far off the fucking bed, effing bed. And you'd go down. Piss me off. That was one of their ways of, they were, because I wasn't being very nice at the time. And that was one of their ways. They're like, "We're done. We're out of here. We're gonna go." And I was like, "Well, F you," you know. Um, then there were times, oh, that's another subject anyway. There were times where they escorted me to the bathroom and I'd have hands, these long, skinny fingers up underneath my armpits and onto my arms. I'm surprised I didn't have bruises. Well, actually, a couple of times I did. But anyway, and the bruises didn't last because now they put something over the freaking body. I still haven't figured that one out. Anyway, point being, that's how I knew I was coming in through the wall, was because of that fan. And getting into, that was the other one, getting into the PJs. I still don't quite understand how they did it. I'll try to get back to that in a minute. But the when I was released, one of the well, not last times, I was going to say the last times, that's not right, but one of those times in like 2020 when I was released and I was shaking. I wasn't shaking as badly, but I was still really shaking and chattering. My teeth were chattering. And the second they released me, I literally sat straight up in bed, and that was when I said, "I know you're still here. Please listen. You've got to listen to what I'm saying. You cannot bring me back like this. You can't. You're going to make me physically ill. Our human bodies," and I had to freaking teach them. I'm like, "You're going to make me sick. You're deliberately going to make me sick by bringing me back and not keeping my body warm." And ever since, and I had a lot more to say other than just that. And I knew they listened. And the minute basically I started to sit up, because when you get brought back, you got to pee like a racehorse, piss like a racehorse. And it's like, the second you're aware, you got to get your legs over the edge of the bed and get up and go, make it to the bathroom. And I've waited too long. I didn't pee anywhere, but I waited too long and I went, "Nope, gotta go." And they knew that I was like making my way to the bathroom, because they always know that that's where I head after they return me. There's a pattern with me with that. And so they left. They didn't follow me. They didn't nothing. That was one of those times that they didn't follow me to the bathroom. Oh God, there are many times that they follow me to the bathroom. Make sure, like when they literally drained me of, and I've talked about that too. They literally, I had an instance where they literally drained my blood. And well, not every bit of it. They kept me alive, but that was for another subject. And I have talked about that. I've been very open about that. That was for the survival of one of my hybrid boys. For my baby. It was not a baby, but anyway. and he was dying. And I'm like, you don't F with mom and one of her kids. I don't give a crap what they look like. I don't care what race they are. I don't care, human, ET, hybrid. I don't care. They're my kid. You do what you do need to for your kid, period. And he was dying. And I was like, we're going, let's, and I was gone. So yeah, I was gone for a long time. Now that's something that somebody's going to have to talk to Keith about, because he's got the science knowledge about how I know I was gone for a week, but yet I was returned within something like a 17, 18 to 24, 26 hour. And that's sometimes depending upon how my back has been. That's not unusual for me to not be seen, not come out of my bedroom for that amount of time. So, and one of those things that I do is I always, or almost always, keep a bottle of Propel in my room, because it's electrolytes. It's the fastest thing that can sit on my bedside table or one of my dressers and can sit for 24 hours unrefrigerated, although it's, not the greatest, but, and be half full. And I need to replenish my electrolytes after I get returned. It is mandatory for me. And that's why I swear by Propel, because it as an abductee and as a psychic medium who uses in both instances, uses a specific kind of energy. And I'm almost on to 2 hours right now. But because of using a very specific kind of energy, I have to have electrolytes and a high amount of protein. And I would be fascinated to hear from other abductees if that's what they find as well. And I know a lot of psychics or psychic mediums or intuitives, as some people call themselves. I really don't like the word psychic, and I really don't like the word medium, and I really don't like the word intuitive. But for me personally, for other people, it's fine. But I just, what other word do you use? What other phrase do you use? I haven't found anything that I've really liked. But this is because there's so many different kind of connotations with those. But that's why I've always got a bottle of Propel with me. I will not drink regular Gatorade because there's too much crap in it. Sorry, Gatorade company. I know you make this product, but your other product, got too many things in it. No. Bad. And this is one of this and Newton's Recharge are and hard to come by now, which is why I went with Propel, because it's easier to access, which sucks because Newton's Recharge actually is better for you. Less processing. Anyway, but and that's my personal opinion. Don't anybody come after me for that. Anyway, but that's why I've always got, speaking of which, that's why I've always got Propel or a high amount of protein around me, because you're using up a very specific kind of energy doing shows or I'd love somebody to scientifically test this stuff. I mean, truly, it fascinates me no end. Besides the government or anybody related to the frickin' government regarding testing. Anyway, Babble Fest. Other thing, so the ETs, I was talking about not being back for a week, and I came back within a 17, 18 to 24 to 26 hour period, according to my clock. And yet I knew that I was gone for a week. And I still don't quite understand how I know. What the hell is all over me? Oh, how interesting. Like tissue paper all over me, and I don't know why. Strange is that. Anyway, this is a clean shirt. Makes no sense. All right, quit babbling. So the other thing is one of the things that Keith explained quite some time ago and quite publicly, so I know I can openly talk about this. One of the things that he stated was that there is a different pressurization on the ET ships. And it finally made sense to me why, when I am in the process of being returned, why I can feel the air pressure shift around me when we're in the ship versus immediately out of the ship, and then coming down, and they're bringing me down quickly but slowly at the same time. It's not like when I'm taken immediately immobilized. I'm supposedly asleep, or there have been times where I haven't been asleep. They immobilize me and basically make it to where my eyes, you cannot open your eyes. They will not allow me to have my eyes open. There's something about that, and I don't know if it's because they believe that I'm scared of going up in height. I don't know if it's they believe, we haven't actually talked about it, so I don't know what the ET's viewpoint is on that. Yeah, you're welcome, sweetie. So, oh yeah, I just saw this, Chris. Yes, I always have a tape measure within like a foot, 2 feet of me. Yeah, higher spectrum light. So yeah, it just so when I'm coming down, there's a shift, not just in temperature but in air pressure around me. And by the time I get above my bed, I'm registering, that I'm obviously ice cold. I'm awake. They're recognizing that I'm starting to wake up, but what they don't recognize for some reason, and I don't understand why they don't recognize this because they should, but I'm incapable of moving. They have me in I'm flat. And anybody who knows me, and they freaking have known me since I've been a little itty bitty kid. Hell, I've had one know me since I was in my mother's womb. That's beside the point. But they have known me, so they should know with this back injury that keeping me completely flat injures my back, especially after the 2 back injuries that I've had. And I can't even be, I've had words. I've had a lot of words about that. Still, obviously, pisses me off. And that's actually one of the ways now that I know when I've been taken and I don't have, whoops, keep touching that. It's making the laptop bobble because I've got it sitting up so that you can see me properly at an angle to where it's another subject. Anyway, old-time photographer, retired photographer who's yeah, I know about angles and all that stuff. Ah, I love you too, Alice. Um, so you just you just know certain things as an abductee, and there's certain things like I was saying, they should have realized that I was waking up. Um, you know, and I'm chattering, my teeth are actually chattering. That's something that they can't control. I don't understand that, but they could control my eyelids from opening up. That is frustrating beyond description. Um, but I'm in a different frequency so that I'm literally you wouldn't have been able to see me. I would have passed right through. I mean, hell, I'm passing right literally through a solid freaking wall. A wall that's got glass on it. I literally passed through blankets on my bed. I still don't understand, comprehend. I mean, I comprehend it, but I don't understand the science of how you literally, how I could literally feel going down into my bed and then coming back up into my pajamas and underneath the blankets and feel my legs then on the pillows because I have, because of my back, I have pillows underneath my legs. And it made no sense to me. I mean, the first time that I registered as an adult, that I registered that I was being manhandled, um, and I say that because hello, I'm flat as a board. My eyes, I'm literally incapable. I couldn't fingers, couldn't move the fingers, couldn't anything. And the one time, and it happened in 2019, and a lot happened in 2019. Um, but oh, that's right, I forgot where he's going. Anyway, um, he's got a specific group. I forgot about that. Anyway, so um, how I registered that I had ET, I literally they started releasing me enough, and my legs automatically stretched. I literally started stretching, kind of going like this, and I realized I couldn't go like this, and so my lower half automatically started to stretch. And I kicked an ET's shoulders, and my toes literally curled over his, and I knew it was a man. It was a male ET, or represented a male ET. I literally kicked his shoulders, and my toes went over his shoulders and curled and grabbed on. I was like this. I was like that. My toes, and I when I grabbed on, my eyes instantly, I mean, I was trying to force my eyes open and I couldn't. And their body literally went down like this, and my toes are still in a grip because I was like, I had gripped their shoulder really freaking tight. And they went down, and I was literally pulled backwards towards the head of my bed. That was at the foot of my bed. Towards and there's nothing in that, and I took pictures. I mean, when that happened, I was yelling. And I was out of bed so fast. This was before I broke my tailbone. And that was how I consciously registered what had happened to me. Um, Yeah, see, thank you, Chris Martin. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I have a tendency to do that quite often now because of that. Um, I've had I've had strap marks on my upper arms. I've had strap marks on my um like from here down. I've had them on my ankles. I've had them on my just below my knees. I've had them above my knees. Um, I've had my legs in stirrups. What I classify as stirrups, they're not what we consider stirrups. They're kind of it's a morphing table. It's metamaterial that morphs. It's literally um, um, I had the word and now it's gone. I just couldn't get it to my mouth fast enough. It's metal that is conscious. I can't remember what I used to call that. There was a specific word for it, and now I can't think of it. Anyway, I've been yammering up a storm. Anyway, um, and so my back now knows, and because of the tailbone injury, um, I really know when I've come back from an ET. And I've been flat out. They've had me flat um, out on the meta table, metamorphosis table, um, consciousness metal, whatever. Anyway, and I'm like, if they know my beef is if you freaking know that I've had a back injury and you can freaking see it and you've healed me and done surgery on me before, then why can't you make that table go up to where it will not injure my back any further? I mean, it's like they don't think of things like that. It's like, oh no, she has to stay flat. Now I understand why I had to stay flat when they were draining my blood. Actually, they weren't. Technically, it was an infusion. I had, they had me connected to my son, and I could feel it was the strangest sensation. I don't think I've ever told this. Um, oh, this might make me cry. Um, I could feel my blood enter him, and I could feel the energy between he and I. And I don't know how else to explain how they had us connected, but they had us connected in such a way that it was like his blood. I want to say his blood was going into me and my blood was going into him, and somehow I was replenishing his blood. I don't know how else to explain that, but I felt him and I knew how close to death he was. Didn't expect to talk about that. Blah. And that's not how you do a blood transfusion, and I logically know that. Anyway, but I also know that um, he had some very serious wounds on him. I mean, like the kind that our human medical doctors, there would be no way that this boy, he wasn't a boy, but he was a young man. Oddly enough, he was only physically 3 months old, but he was a physical adult, taking on more than he ever should have. typical teenage mindset, I might add. I love my kids, but God bless it. Even as hybrids, they can do some. I just want to slap them upside their head sometimes. Go, I love you, but what the hell were you thinking? Excuse me. um, Passive peripheral sensory monitoring. The brain transmits certain frequencies when I'm discomfort, when when in discomfort or pain, and it can be an indicator of nerve complications during a procedure. Oh, good to know. Yeah, I've got a lot of nerve damage in my body, and one of the things. It's not how we humans would do a blood. Yeah, correct, Chris. It's not how we as humans would do a blood transfusion. It is, however, how they did it because of how it felt to me. Um, I I have this sensation in my right hand to where he and I were holding hands, but I could feel his blood. And you would think, okay, now here's my science question. If his blood is going into me and mine into him, as in a I can't think of what that's called, going back and forth like this, um, why do I not have um, ET hybrid um, blood in me? Somebody's got to explain that to me. I don't understand that. That makes no sense to me. Um, but I remember having his hand in my hand, and I remember um, the sensation of his hand in my hand, and I remember he and I communicating telepathically, um, not taken away, given back. Yeah, yeah. Um, and they specifically, I mean, the way the way they came to get me, I was sitting in this chair. It was middle of the night, um, somewhere around 1 or 2 in the morning, if I remember this correctly. I have it all written down. I have all of this written down. Um, that will never go anywhere. I mean, that's um, but the exact how this whole thing came about, but they came and got me. I was during my nighttime, so it would have been technically my morning. I'd been up probably since 8 or 9 p.m. that night, so that would have been technically my morning time. So 1 or 2 would have been maybe lunchtime for me. I remember I'd already eaten. Um, I'd had my vitamins. Um, Referred to earlier, yeah. Um, and I remember the ET that is like a parental figure to me, and I don't know how else to explain that sensation, but that's how it feels now. That's how it's always felt, is that he's been a parental figure to me. Um, because he's known me since I was in my mother's womb. I mean, but yeah, anyway. So he walked right up to me. I didn't even feel him. That's I don't remember sensing psychically, or I mean, they are really good at doing that. I mean, I had I had one walking from my dining room into my living room, 3 weeks ago? And somebody else was sitting here in the recliner and we were watching TV and I'm like, "Are you?" I lost my shit. I was not a happy camper. I'm like, "I am not going anywhere tonight. You are not. I will put up a fight. You are not taking me. Nope, 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 nope." And what I heard was clicking. Well, they click when they talk to each other. I only registered one. It was one set of clicking. And I don't lose my shit often, but I was not I was not a happy camper at that given moment in time. And I was like, "Don't you hear the clicking?" And he's like, "No." And I'm like, "Oh, you gotta be kidding me." And I'm like, "Why is it that I can only hear the?" And I'm like, that's another subject. But anyway, um, so yeah, and he just walked right up to me and told me my son was in battle and he was dying. We need your blood. That's how it was said to me. We need your blood. He's dying. We need you. We need your blood. And I'm like, I didn't ask any questions. I just knew my baby didn't care how old he was. I knew how old he was, but I didn't care. I don't care if you're 1 month old or their 1 month old is full grown adult. Um, our 1 month old, hello, you're still in rocking arms. Little baby. um, or if you're, I mean, they look like they're 27, 32 years old at a month old. I mean, physical, it just boggles my freaking mind. But yeah, here they are telling me my son's been in a battle. He's on his deathbed. He's dying. He's bleeding out. We need your blood. You got to come. And I didn't grab anything. I take it back. I think I grabbed my phone, plugged my phone in when I plugged my phone in on my bed. And I don't even think I made it, actually. I remember being in the process of laying down. I don't remember anything after that. I mean, not being taken. I mean, I was gone. They literally did whatever they needed to, and I was gone. And then I have flashes of memory, and they talk about staying with you when they bring you back. They made sure I was going to be okay. They told me when I got brought back, they literally, and I was weak. I was so freaking weak. And I think I had a bottle of Propel on my dresser at that time. I had a bottle of Propel and I think a bottle of iced tea, or part of a bottle of iced tea. And they literally waited for, and I remember trying to stand up and I nearly collapsed. I have talked about this before. And I was like, oh, God, seriously. I feel that. Come on, guys. Whew. Always trips my stomach. Getting some kind of download or upload or something off of my left ear, and it's triggering my stomach. Anyway, it's almost gone, or it's gone. Yeah, it's gone. So they literally walked with me, made sure I made it to the bathroom. And as I'm sitting, they're literally telling me, I got one standing in my tub to the left of me and one standing in front of the sink and telling me what I need to do for myself, how I need to um, take care of myself, that my son was okay. I was like, that's one of the things that if that's a really big deal to me. They have to be, um, they have to tell me how my babies are. I mean, if one of my kids is in danger and they need me and I go, that's one of my agreements. You have to make it so that I am consciously understanding what it is that you're telling me. That's a really big deal. So, and they did. They told me how to take care of myself. After that amount of blood, replenishing mine and taking from me to for him. Um, yeah, he was standing in the bathtub. I don't. It was like, and I'm like, I think if they had truly metamorphed into our physical, I don't think at that given moment in time I would have given a shit. No pun intended. Um, but yeah, one of them was standing. He was, God, let's find out. How far was he? He was, no, about 6 inches from my left knee. Maybe, maybe 8. I think 8 is pushing it, but more like 6 inches from my left knee, standing there. And I remember the sensation of him with his hand on my back, not over my shoulder, because I've had that feeling before where I've had ET fingers over my shoulders before, and God, their fingers are long. Oh my God, their fingers are long. These are the 7 foot tall. Um, well, these ones are the 7 foot tall grays. Um, but the other ones that, how do I say this? The other ones that work on me, they are a hybrid of a gray and something else, and their skin color is um, translucent. I always forget that word. Ugh, I was really fighting to hold on to that word. Speaking of tailbone is not right. Um, whew, but yeah, he stood there and made sure that I knew that I was. Oh, hello. Well, that's interesting. Something just called up on my screen. Um, and hopefully we're still live. Yes, we are. Okay. Um, made sure that I was consciously aware of what it was that I needed to do. And I remember after going to the bathroom, washing my hands, and they stayed with me. They walked me to, and that's so weird because I could feel them standing next to me. And it's like one is standing to my left, one is standing to my right. But you got to understand, to my right is a wall. He's partially in the wall and partially not in the wall. And then he's partially in a stack of Rubbermaid totes that has clean laundry on top. It has a laundry basket with clean laundry on it. So he's standing in the wall, out of the wall, and in that pile of boxes, well, totes. And the other one is walking literally through a wall and stands there Um, as I'm holding on to the dresser, and he's standing in the dresser. Ugh, that's just bizarre to me, but yet I that's where they were. Um, and if I needed to balance myself, I grabbed onto the um, Rubbermaid tote and stood upright. And the by this time, the one that was there had walked forward and was out of that area. And um, oh my God, Chris, that's funny. Imagine what it looked like on the other side of the wall. E.T. butt hanging over clean laundry. Talk about an encounter. Oh my God, that's awesome. Never thought of that. Yeah, I mean, they've and I appreciate that about them. There was a time that was and I I had my bottle of Propel and I sucked like the last I mean, I sucked that bottle dry, man, cuz I was not okay. And I knew I wasn't okay. I mean, I used to give blood. I used to give blood every single year without fail up until I got pregnant with my son, with my human son, who's now 31. To think about that. And uh, I couldn't after that because my hormones were so off the freaking chart and I was having so many and God, that would just piss me off. I For me not to be able to give blood to the blood bank just irritated the shit out of me. Well, now I wouldn't dream of doing it because of what all's being done with me, to be quite honest. I mean, think about how many. Now, here's something. Okay, here's something I've never really thought about. I mean, not in the grand scheme of things. I have minorly, but not grand scheme of things. Think about how many ET abductees who are being worked on by the different races of ETs for whatever purpose, and how many of those abductees are giving blood to blood bank across the United States. And think about the rejection factors of different people who are receiving blood. Yeah, there's a mind f. That's a um but yeah, I just I it wasn't safe. It wasn't God damn it. Excuse me. Wasn't safe for me to give blood, and that just I mean just upset me up one side and down the other because I have a strong belief in giving blood. Um but what was I going to say? There was something else I was going to talk about regarding the ETs. Oh, they when Chris had mentioned something about I like the discharge instructions from the bathtub, made me think of another situation. They I use a CPAP. Make no bones about it. I've used it, God, 15 years, something like that. I mean, daily. I Unless I'm violently ill, that's the only time I won't use it. I strongly believe in CPAP usage, and I know people that poo-poo it and have one, and they build. And I'm like, oh my God, you're screwing with your life. You're screwing with your family's life because your family loves you and cares about you, and it's a whole nother subject. But anyway, the ETs registered that something was off with me. And in 2021, they did major surgery on me. And I remember talking with Lynn Hurley, who was Lynn Wallington at the time before she got married, before she remarried. And yeah, it was a hell of a shock. They enlarged part of my throat. They redid, because I was born with smaller than normal eustachian tubes, so I have an eustachian tube dysfunction, and they started getting frustrated at the fact that um, hello, Aaron. Okay, so basically, they redid my throat and the left side of my throat and my eustachian tube, and it was major surgery. And I was told and ordered, and they stayed with me to make sure that I would be okay. And I was like, what did, and they were like, don't talk, think. And I was like, what did you do to me? And they're like, you cannot eat anything. You can drink, but you cannot drink hot water or hot tea. We know you like tea. You cannot drink hot anything. Drink your Propel. You can have your seltzer. We would prefer you having water. So I did. I made sure that I had did everything I was supposed to. I asked about if I could have my protein drink, and they said yes. And I did, because I was really out of it, and I don't know exactly what they did to me, but regarding certain things, but I knew that they had literally enlarged. They didn't remove the back part of my tongue. Now I know people that have had that kind of surgery for their sleep apnea, where they literally had the back part of their tongue removed. I didn't. They didn't do that with me. That I know. But they literally enlarged my throat and replaced replaced the tissue. I was going to say skin, but replaced the tissue with some kind of ET tissue that my body would allow. And they did that with my my left eustachian tube. And when they did that, it was just really fascinating to me. Really fascinating. But they did. They stayed with me, and I wasn't. I was out of it, but I wasn't as out of it when I was brought back after they took all that blood. So anyway, so that's kind of what has gone on. There's a bunch of other things. Like I said, they've done the carpal tunnel surgery on one hand. I've had it goes the stomach growl, growl, growl. Um, excuse me. Um, um, specific perfect specimen. Hi, Aaron. Um, common in New Mexico. Really? Yeah, so it's just it's they've done a lot with me, but I'm surprised that they haven't done anything with the tailbone because I've been having a lot of problems with that. Um, so we'll see what happens with things. Um, anyway, I've done quite a bit of Aaron, we're talking about ET abductions. Is that what you're talking about as well? Anyway, so yeah, there are a lot of different experiences abductees go through. Um, on there are, I mean, I've known people that um, that have had their arm ripped off. They've talked about having their arm ripped off. Um, uh, um, the arm ripped off and being replaced. I mean, literally being replaced. Um, so I don't know. It's just makes life really interesting to say the least. Um, anyway, what was I going to say after that? There was something I was going to say. Um, I'm getting tired. But I have another show. I have a show to do tonight at 10 o'clock Pacific time. So, about 3 hours from now. 2.5 hours, something like that is when they all start coming in. Anyway, um, EKG implants. Yeah. Yeah, I've had, and I know you're probably talking to Aaron, Chris. Um, um, my brain fart. getting brain fart. Um, oh, I'm getting keep talking. Anyway, EKG implants. I want to talk about that. I know during one of my uh whatchamacallits, abductions, well, not one, during many of my abductions, the ETs used to put a device. I think this was last week or in February is when I talked about it. Um um that they had a device that they used to use on my wrist, and I was having, and it's a um form of metal. Hang on, got a drink. Here we go. Um, I'm reading messages in my phone. Sorry, guys. Anyway, um, so the device, was about the size of a little bit smaller than a silver dollar, between a U.S. quarter and a silver dollar, but two thicknesses of 2/4 thick. That's what I'm trying to say. And it would literally melt into the skin. And I'm still sensitive here because of it. I mean, it's really sensitive. And this side, done nothing. But they always put it over here. God, I hate that feeling. Um, and I would have, yeah, I talked about it last week. Um, I would have, I'm allergic to metal, very specific kinds of metal anyway. And with what the ETs were using, I was breaking out all the time. I mean, and I would take pictures of it, and it was a round circle. And at times it looked like a metal allergy, histamine blisters, broken open, um, itchy, um, about yay big on my wrist. And sometimes it would be up here, but most of the times it was right here. And it would literally it would literally melt right into the skin. And man, it was a device. It was quite the device they used. Excuse me. And basically, um, it was to check. It was a form of an EKG. It was a form of checking the body of different things. It did a lot of different things. Um, and when they removed it, I'd end up with these circular marks on my body in specific locations, but always on my wrist, until I finally said, I'm allergic to metal. Whatever metal that is, I'm allergic to it. You guys are actually causing me to blister. I have a painful reaction to whatever that device is. It's because of the metal. I don't know what kind of metal that is. I get you don't want me to know. I get that. But it literally is causing me medical problems for about 2 weeks and sometimes 3. And I'm not healing. And so, according to me, they stopped using it and started using a device on my upper arm, which I don't have as many issues with, but I still do have issues with. Um, and besides, on the upper arms, there are specific blood vessels that go into the heart, although heart is over here and port and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, I don't know exactly what all they do, but they do something. So anyway, yeah, I've had all sorts of things happen. Um they everything under the freaking sun I've had happen. Um Most dramatic one. I don't remember ever having any a- arms, hands, fingers, toes, anything like that amputated or things like that of that nature. These specific ETs, they don't do that. Um, but what I do know about some ETs, ouch. Sorry, speaking of ETs. What I do know that some ETs, specific ETs, in fact, if you're part of a race of ET that abduct, they will literally um, put you into battle. Um, and some people classify that as U.S. military. Um, yeah, yeah, it's caused so many problems, Chris, on my right wrist that it's like it's so sensitive right here now that, and it's real specific. It's right here. Um, Used to be right up in here, and then they started moving it to over here, and that bone is right here. So, you got a device going into your skin, and it's like that area is so sensitive, yet this side, nothing. Not a damn thing. Doesn't hurt, skin's not sensitive, nothing. But over here, it's like I barely even it's like no. Um but yet if like my son has, which doesn't happen very often, but he go to grab my hand and ends up with my wrist instead, which is not a typically a big deal. That doesn't hurt. But yet if pressure is put on in just the right way, yeah, I'll kind of lose it. So um oh, very interesting. May not be the metal, but the frequency they are using for topical monitoring. Very interesting. Very interesting thought prospect on that, Chris. I appreciate that. Thank you. Um, really appreciate your medical knowledge. Um, anyway, yeah, it just, is- I was going to say it's a pain in the ass, but hello, no, it's a pain in the wrist. um, but I do have to say, they did a phenomenal job when they did my carpal tunnel surgery. And I got pictures of that, man. I got pictures, not the surgery itself, but I got pictures of the scar. My God, that scar was gone within, I think it was like 6, 8 hours. I mean, I was like, you can't even see it. I mean, I know where it's at, but I'm looking at, oh, hey, Drew. Um, I'm looking at my wrist and I know where it's at, but and it's only because I know where it's freaking at. So, um, but if I hadn't have, I would have thought I was going nuts. I was like, what did they do? And I couldn't, and I still have problems. I still have problems with with this hand periodically. I mean, it will cinch up. I'll get into a claw-like fist to where when I was exercising regularly, which I can't do that now. I mean, I would love to be doing that, but, the walking is a big thing with me right now. Um, I wanna get back into the gym and be able to do different things again, but just gripping onto things, my hands freeze and they lock into this position, and I'm literally doing this kind of thing with them just to get them open up. And now that they've done, and this was a couple of years ago, now that they did this wrist, um, I don't freeze up or drop a cup or drop a plate or drop a purse or a backpack or whatever. Um, well, not a backpack. I don't carry a backpack anymore, but um, or like a purse. Sweat into the old days, Richard Simmons, sweat into the old, yeah. Um, so that's, I mean, that kind of thing, that's a big deal. They want me active and mobile and being able to do things. And I appreciate that. I missed a message. Okay. Um, so hang on a minute. Um, I forgot to take my thyroid today. Oh crapola. I better write this down. Thyroid pill. Thyroid pill. There we go. Okay. Um, so yeah, I mean they do all kinds of surgeries and stuff, and boy are they proficient at it. Um, whatever they do, because I don't heal as fast as whatever it is they used or have used on me to make my body heal very fast amazes me. I mean, it is just freaking amazing to me how they can do that. Um, I just I want to know what they use. I know it's got to be some kind of something. I mean, obviously I don't have a reaction to it because whatever they used on my throat, yeah, my throat hurt and felt, I mean, it was like it went from like that kind of a sensation to like that. I was like, wow. I mean, it literally it changed my voice. Um, I mean, I sounded when it first I have recordings. Think I've still got them. Recordings of what I sounded like. Um, I could barely talk. I mean, hello, I just had major surgery on my throat. They literally cut out a section, like not over here, but like it wasn't dead center. It was like slightly off center and then another section out over here. And I so badly wanted to go into a doctor's office and go, "Oh, gotta look at my throat." Somebody's got to look at my throat. I got to see, and within 12, 16, 18 hours, I mean, it wasn't healed, but I sounded pretty close to normal. Um, I mean, even now, it feels like whatever tissue they used, it feels like they it's like my normal throat. And it's the same way with this Eustachian tube, but yet I have better airflow in through that Eustachian tube now. I don't have mucus clogging up and all that kind of stuff, whereas this side is like, ugh, not fun. Um, oh, um, I gotta get my channel. Somebody's asking me to watch. Hang on. Well, hang on. Whoop. Turn the volume down. Okay, over here, click on copy, click on paste. There you go, dear. Okay, go from that, back to that, move this, go to that. Okay, now I'm back. Anyway, what else? God, we've talked a lot. Oh, hitting 3 hours and 10 seconds. Just reading chat. Try to think of what else here. Boom, 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 boom. Can't think of anything else off the top of my head. Off the top, very, very top. Okay. Oh, well, I hope you come in, Dolores. Trying to. Yeah, Robin hasn't been. Well, no, he hasn't. He hasn't been around in a while. I miss him. He's a sweetheart of a guy. Anyhow, status. Okay, I'm trying to figure out anything else. Robert. Okay, here we go. And there we go. Okay. Yeah, we've done a number of different things. And I think we're probably close to the end. I'll probably run the lady off. No, I've been doing this for 3 hours, Drew. So, and then I've got a show where they usually call around 9:40 or so. So I'm gonna have to go and eat and get some vitamins in and all that stuff. Yeah. And that show is the S-4 bunker. I had to think of the word. I was like, anyway. I was going to talk about demons and wannabe demons. I did talk about them, but not to any real deep extent. You were napping when you woke up. Okay. I'd ask you where you're headed next, but I don't want to do that to you publicly. So, anyway, stay safe. Or message me privately. I want to know how you're doing. Oh, there we go. Get some caffeine in me. Iced tea. So let's see what else about the ETs. Oh, that's what I was going to say. The ones that take me, they're normally oh, awesome. Oh, safe travels. You get home. Get some rest. Yeah. I'm going to have to go pretty soon cuz my brain is like ETs and something. What was it that I just said, guys? Crap. Oh! Oh, and it's getting dark outside. Or it is dark outside, I should say. Let's see, I need to move this. There we go. There we go. What was I gonna say about the ETs? Oh, the ones that take me. The controllers, I guess, is what Keith calls them. They're 7 feet tall. They're grays. They're tall, skinny grays. Big heads. The ones that do all the work, they're not clones. They are grays, a hybrid of a gray and some other ET species. Very resemblance of a human gray, but yet their skin feels like our skin, and some have hair, some don't. They have very specific colored eyes, similar human eyes, but their eyes are bigger than ours. So mine is like this, theirs is like that. But it's not like that where the grays are, but they're like this. Face shape, head shape is of a human, bit bigger. They're about 6 feet tall. I do have the height written down because I'm real specific on height measurements and stuff. I'm real good about that. Always have been. I used to have builders test me on that. Yeah. Not really. Yes and no, but not really. And so what else? Then you'd have ones that were down below them, and then you'd have the nursemaids. Anyway, they all were human looking, human-esque. And they all had Caucasian skin, with a translucent blue or translucent green over the skin, and some had blue green, not aqua, not ocean color, but a very specific color of blue green. Beautiful skin. And it's the only thing that I can ever explain it like is if you've ever seen crap, what is the name of that movie? It's not The Flash. The hell is the name of that movie? Green Lantern. If you've ever seen the movie The Green Lantern, where the guy who, if you've never seen it, don't worry about it. But in the movie, towards the beginning of the movie, the one of the ETs, he's red with a translucent overlay on his skin. That's the only thing I've ever come close to seeing in movies or pictures or anything that even remotely comes close to this overlay of skin. I don't know what this color. Um, his was red, but these ETs, they're blue green, and they're hybrids. They're a hybrid of a gray and a human, but yet something else. Um, and um, they have very specific things for us to do. Very specific things. And then there's ones that there's other ones that take me, that are the grays. Don't like them. Mm. No. Nope. 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 Don't like them. They're not nice. They're the ones, the bastards that shattered my mouth. When I was in the 6th grade. Yeah, that's fun. So then there are memories like that. There are memories of being weirdly pregnant at 13, but them taking the baby when I was 14. Yeah. And me being told that just medically being told that I had very unusual things happening to my body, and I'm like, you think? And I was a virgin. How can I be pregnant? Immaculate conception. Yeah. No, ET conception. Yeah. So, being an ET abductee is not so easy, and then you get situations to where there was a conversation. I think it was last week. I don't think it was this week, because I didn't. Yeah, it had to have been last week. It was a conversation I listened to, and different abductees were talking about their experiences and how good they were, and that's good. Not everybody goes through that. Not everybody experiences that. I've seen a ET that appeared to me like a human man, very tall, big, muscular. I mean, we're talking like bodybuilder muscular. Human man, and he shapeshifted into fur with a human face and a very unusual nose. The nose was different, and so was the mouth. And I was like, okay, I'm trying to comprehend, trying to understand what I was witnessing. Yeah. Later, he shapeshifted into a full-fledged feline. Female, not a female cat, into a male walking on 2 legs cat. And not a cat. I know what he was, and it's not often I talk about what it was he was. Anyway, claws on the fingers. They didn't disappear. They retracted. They came forward and retracted. Um, saw him when he was half morphed. Cat paws on the feet area, but fur covered fingers was very, I don't want to say disturbing because I've seen so much different. I've seen a lot of different. That's just, it is what it is. You get used to certain. That's what I was going to talk about. I was going to talk about flying ships. There was a conversation with ET abductees that also went into talking about flying ships, and I essentially got lambasted for saying that psychic medium abductee shouldn't be flying a ship because it's killed psychic mediums before. But if you've been trained when you're an abductee, my point was that if you've been trained from childhood how to fly them, you may not be able to fly all ET ships, but there are a lot of ET ships that you probably can fly. And it's about consciousness to do that. It's real specific about your consciousness has to be very, very specific in order to fly those ships. You want to look into somebody like Susie Hansen, who is based out of New Zealand. She has a lot of experience with flying ships from a very young age. I don't know if they're still taking her. She's got a different race of ET who take her. And she's talked about they teach them very young. Well, yeah, there's a lot of different races of ET that take. Let's see if I can get rid of this. This is just, it's bleaching me out. There we go. There's a lot of races of ET that abduct, and they teach very young children how to fly their ships. It's fascinating. Anyway, excuse me. I have a sensation of flying a ship, but I don't have full conscious memory of it. So if I ever get asked, I say no. Because how do you explain to somebody you have a sensation in your body of it, but you don't have memory of it? Yeah, that doesn't. I was going to be a smartass and say, well, that doesn't fly. Anyway, but I do know this. I do have memory of this. I have memory of fighting, of being in hand-to-hand combat. I have memory of not in my clone bodies. I have memory of being in my clone bodies and being in hand-to-hand combat and firing what we would classify as ET weapons. They're very specific looking. They have a very specific colored energy that comes out of them. And I've probably talked about it publicly, but I'm too tired tonight. So, and on that note, coming up to 3 hours and 19 minutes. So, well, I'm at 3 hours and 19 minutes. Anyway, So yeah, it's time to say goodnight because I've got to rest for about an hour and a half and get ready for this other show that I'm going to do tonight. And I might just have to use this laptop in order to do it because they say my sounds like shit on my phone. So fun. We'll try this instead. Anyway, actually, I might try that with see if Amy can help me figure out how to do that on this laptop. Anyway, I don't know. Yeah, on that note, I'm going to say my toodaloos, my goodbyes, and I hope you have a really good week. I am going to try to make this a weekly thing. If it comes down to it and you don't see me at 3:30, and I'm just going to put this out there, if you don't see me at 3:30, check back at 4 just to be on the safe side, because I really hope I don't go through any more of these technical difficulties, because that has not been fun by any stretch. But if that comes up and I'm running late or I am having tech difficulties, I will try to put out a message of some sort, in some fashion or form, to let everybody know that that's what's going on. Oh, and the other thing is I may not get a chance to put out a what everybody else is doing. I can't think of what it's called. It's via YouTube. An upcoming show notification is what I'm trying to say. So just expect me to be doing Wednesdays at 3:30 Pacific, 3:30 p.m. Pacific time, and then but if you don't see me, check back. So but I will try and get a message out. So on that note, bye guys. I hope you have a good evening, safe evening, and enjoy your night. Take good care. Bye guys.